I would like now to invite Mrs. Joumana SWEISS from the ENI CBC Med Valencia branch office. She's the project officer on social inclusion and is going to talk to us about the contribution of the program that is giving us the chance to implement all these interesting activities and share experiences. She will inform us how the program contributes to the social solidarity economy. Joumana, the floor is yours, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to thank the team of MedTOWN for inviting me to take part to this event. So I was told to talk about social innovation from the perspective of the organization I represent. In this case, it's the ENI CBC Med program. As you may know, EU policies are implemented through what we call European programs. So for a European, in the context of the European Neighbourhood Policy, we have ENI CBC Med program as a tool to implement this policy. You may also know that all European programs run for 7 years, and usually it's the result of a long process of consultation and negotiations to decide where shall the EU money go, and in order to address common priorities. It's important to highlight that one of the main principles of our program is the principle of co-ownership. What does it mean? It means that when we launch a call, the priorities we want to fund, the projects we want to fund, is not only the EU as European Commission, which decide where we should focus our themes, but it's the result of a national consultation by all the participating countries. In our case, we have 13 participating countries, 7 EU member states and 6 what we call MPC, Mediterranean partner countries, who are the countries of the south part of the Mediterranean. So just to give you an example, if we compare the GOP, which is the document reference for our program, if we compare between 2007-2013, under what we call the main objective of promote social and economic development, there are no clear mention to social inclusion. Whereas for the 2014-2020 period, we can really see that we have introduced this component. Where it comes from all these countries who made their own consultation with the relevant actors in their own countries to see whether they consider it as a priority to put it on the agenda and fund projects. So why I'm saying this? Well, basically because we usually talk about the top-down versus bottom-up approaches. And in this case, we can see that how this top-down approach at EU and national level can be an example of co-ownership and also an example of how to put on the agenda and prioritize social inclusion in the Mediterranean area. I also want to mention that our program is the only territorial cooperation program in the Mediterranean area who have a thematic about social and solidarity economy. And just to give some figures, in our current budget, we dedicate 34 million euros for social, promote social development in this area. It represents about 16% of our budget, so I think it's a good start. And yeah, not only I told you about the process of how we decide which priority we want to fund. Our program, I think, goes a step further to promote social inclusion because they specifically have a priority 3.2 about how to involve SSE actors in providing and in co-producing social services. and MedTOWN is a perfect example of this implementation. Finally, I would like also to highlight that this is something totally innovative and a new concept for Southern Mediterranean countries. So we were talking, I heard all the speakers, we were focusing a lot about EU perspective and what's being done at the EU level, but it's also important to see that through MedTOWN, EU partners with Arabic countries, partners from Arabic countries, can little by little introduce this new concept of co-producing, of making all the actors, SAC actors, part of this policy making, especially in providing social services in South countries. And finally, I just want to mention some initiatives that I found it interesting in these countries, supported by the International Labour Organization, such as PROMES, which is promoting SSCs in Tunisia. Jeunesse is also about this, tackling this issue. Land and Rights in Palestine, and one in Italy called Dignità in Campo. So that's what I wanted to tell you, and thank you very much for this conference.
Thank you very much for your intervention. I hope that in the future the ENI Med program maintains this support to the social solidarity economy actors.